Well, happy Sunday afternoon, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I'm out and about today. Actually, going to go by and see my mom. I've got my mom hooked on nothing but cakes. She absolutely adores those, and my daughter's cookies. My daughter has these dairy-free cookies that she makes, oatmeal raisins, that are better than anything I made. And my mom, who is the cookie queen, literally says they're better than ones she makes. And so I love. They're like crack. You literally start eating and you can't stop. But anyway, I was saying, shout out to Michael, who he sent me a link for it, about I can't pronounce it right. Kyren Lacy, 22-year-old former LSU wide receiver who some people thought he had the potential to be a first-round draft pick, took his life last night. And this is a tragic story, to say the least. It literally lets you know that your life can turn in a moment's notice. What happened with Lacy was he got into a car accident where it ended up killing a 78-year-old man, and he was arrested for reckless driving, vehicular homicide, and he left the scene. A bad situation was made worse by fleeing the scene. And he had been arrested for it. He had paid $151,000 bond to get out, and was going to be a case that went to trial. And unfortunately, maybe this was the cause. We're assuming. We don't know. But maybe having caused this and going through it and the changes in his life was just too much. And this is where depression and dealing with situations in life that we can all help each other. I fight depression sometimes. And for me, people always say, Mark's doing all these videos, man. Maybe you get tired of them. Maybe you get tired of them, and that's okay. But for me, I know when I'm not doing something, if I'm just feeling like I just want to sleep, then I'm fighting depression. And so by being here on YouTube, by having the communications with the fans, the interaction and things, it keeps my mind away from my own demons. And I have to stay busy. And people are always like, man, my father-in-law used to always call me Timex. He says, it's like, you don't sit still. You're always going. You're like the clock. Just keeps on ticking. And that's my way of making sure I don't get into those laws. And I'll be 100% real with you guys. I have been fighting this depression for about a month and a half myself. And I've gone off on some people and things, maybe more than I should have, or haven't had the same patience that I've had, and I had a lack of motivation. And fortunately, I'm coming to the other side of that. But unfortunately, sometimes people don't have something to get them through the depression. And I can guarantee you that there's some people here watching this right now that understand exactly what I'm talking about, that need help. And don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed to say, I need to talk to somebody, or reaching out to talk to somebody to try and help your situation. The whole story is tragic, from the mistake that was the accident to the mistake that was leaving the scene. And now it's made even worse because the depression ended up killing him. And the thing about when somebody leaves us, it's no more problem for them. The problem is for the people who are left behind that are questioning and not understanding what happened. What could I have done to make this different? And yeah, my prayers and my thoughts go out to the Lacy family, as well as the family that lost the 78-year-old patriarch. It's tragedy all the way around. And this is where we as people need to start being the solution instead of the problem. I will be live streaming today, 5 o'clock. We'll have our members call-in show, and I am trying to get myself back on track. I was out in my workshop this morning, did my morning video, and I've been putting off work that I needed to do. I started cleaning up the workshop. I was getting scrap wood for my mom for, she uses it for kindling, so I got that together. And then I started cutting out some more of my pieces. So, Kurt, if you're watching, I've got more of the pieces to assemble. If I do go to the red brick house tomorrow, I'm taking those pieces down there so I can put them together while I'm down there and looking out for my mother-in-law. Okay. Glad it wasn't for me. As one of those things that, as a black man, when you see a police car sitting behind you and you see flashing lights, you get a lump in your throat. And I always remember when we were young and riding with my dad, these are things my dad instilled in us, that when a police car went past, or you went past a police car, don't look back. Don't look suspicious, because you didn't want to get pulled over because you just didn't know. And for those of you out there that have never ever had that feeling, I'm grateful. I'm glad that you haven't. But to this day, even going to my dad's funeral, while we were driving over, there was a police car behind us for about 1.5 miles. And the whole time, you're looking in your mirrors and saying, okay, is he coming over? Where's my license and insurance? Make sure I have my hands on the wheel. And make sure you say yes, sir, no, sir. So my parents taught me at a young age. Have a good day, people.